Guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lew. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lew will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lew. Here's Coach Lew.
Here we are, guys. It is Monday morning with Breakthrough with Coach Lew, and I am ready for you. Today, we're going to talk about appreciating greatness. If you're on Accelerate Life, we have the chat enabled. We figured that out, so you can send me messages right through the chat. Just sign into it, which is no big deal. You just type in your name and hit enter, and we're good to go. If you're on Facebook, you can send me messages. I may or may not see those on the morning board. Still learning Facebook, and everybody's changed some of their algorithms, so we have had to deal with it on our end with our software. So good morning, wherever I'm watching you, anywhere you send me messages. If I don't see them right away, I will respond to them later. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever walk by a mirror and stop and look in the mirror and ask yourself a question and say, why am I here? What is my purpose? Do I have a purpose? Or will I come and go and be virtually unnoticed? Will I make an impact while I'm here that goes far beyond myself, far beyond my lifespan? Or will I just come and go and kind of, my family will know I was here if I have family. Where do you want to be? Do you appreciate your greatness? And let me ask you a question. Do you appreciate the greatness in others? So learning to appreciate or be grateful for your own greatness is key to keeping that greatness, key to cultivating that greatness. And I'm not talking woo stuff and, praying, doing The Secret and hoping for millions of dollars in a winning lotto ticket to blow out of somebody's hand and land in your front seat. I'm talking about, what do you bring to the table of the world? What do you bring? What do you bring to your family, your friends, your community, your world? Anything? I'm sure there's something, but is it something great? Or are you bringing negativity? Are you hauling all the past couple of years and COVID and everything else? COVID's killing the world. No, stop. Stop it right there. It's not. We've all lost a few people to COVID-related loss because most people that have passed of COVID have unfortunately had other comorbidities that went along with that. But COVID's not killing the planet, not killing the world. What it is it's killing economies. It's killing your emotional stability. It's killing our children's mental health because of all of what's going on. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some losses to it, guys. I'm not being cold and heartless. What I am saying is it's time to be grateful for your greatness. Stop hiding your greatness behind a mask. And I realize that is your choice if you want to wear that in public or if you're going to be going near an elderly person. That is your deal. But don't get on a video call with a mask on and go, I'm doing it out of respect. You're insane. Please. Let your greatness show. And part of your greatness is this smile right here, this tongue that talks. It's horrible if somebody's going, what? They're behind glass and everything else at the bank and stuff, and they got a mask on. Can I help you? Please. And this isn't a mask show. I'm just saying, let your greatness shine through. Use some common sense. I mean, nobody wants to run out and catch COVID, the flu, or any other nasty miserables that are going around. I had the flu over Christmas, and it wasn't fun. As a matter of fact, most of my friends that I knew that had COVID, they had a much easier time than I had with the flu. And it was crazy. But learning to appreciate your greatness. And that's what we're here to talk about today, is we've been through, and all that was to acknowledge, we've been through hell in the past couple of years. Between that, some election issues, some riots, and everything else that takes your focus off of greatness and takes it on to what's negative and nasty and bad instead of what's great. So being grateful for your own greatness is going to help you grow it. Learning to appreciate the greatness in others is what's really going to grow you, grow them, and grow our world. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example here. Music is one of the best examples I could give you. Did you ever, we all have our favorite genre of music, and mine's pretty wide. I like a lot of different kinds of music, depending on mood. I use music, and we were talking about this last night, that, music is kind of a driving force for whatever you're doing. If you're working and it helps you work more efficiently, if you're trying to relax and it calms you. But is there a music that you really don't like? Something that just grates on you like chalkboard nails type of music that you go, I just really don't like that. Of course, we all have that. It could be classical, it could be rap, it could be country, it could be rock, it could be new wave, it could be any of it for each of us, because you know what? We're all individuals and we like different stuff. But can I ask you this? Have you ever been dragged to a concert, or gone for your kids, or, gone for your spouse or your friends or whatever, and gone, oh, I really don't want to go see this. This is not my scene. And actually ended up enjoying the concert because you were like, wow, what great performers. Okay. So I'll use an example. And this is kind of a weak example because I don't dislike Katy Perry's music, but it's kind of what I call the candy coated kid stuff. It was a little bit of a different generation, but my beautiful, wonderful daughter wanted to go see Katy Perry a few years back. So we go to Miami, stay with our wonderful friends, and, have made a nice little weekend trip out of it. We get to Katy Perry, and there's a bunch of screaming young teenage girls all having fun. And then there's some other people, obviously probably the parents and people, in between. And she comes out on stage, and wham, she's got this stage presence. And she gets out there. Maybe I knew 2 or 3 songs out of the 20 she played, but she's flying through the air. She's got this stage presence. She's putting her heart into performing. And I instantly became a Katy Perry fan. She was amazing. Okay. I've heard a couple of songs on the radio that I go, oh, those are kind of cool, or, but, it was never like, oh, wow. Like, Kiss is one of my all-time favorite bands. I hear them, I'm like, oh yeah, I love it when I got to see the concerts and that. But I suddenly had this new appreciation for what I called the candy-coated kid music because of what Katy Perry does, how much effort she put in, the heart and soul she put into that. Now, I enjoyed it, and maybe that is kind of a lukewarm example because I didn't dislike Katy Perry's music. I didn't dislike the style of it. Rather, it just wasn't I thought it wasn't my thing. So also, we've been to many concerts since that I was like, wow, I can appreciate how cool this is, even if it's not my favorite style of music. So let me ask you a question. Do you have an appreciation for the greatness that others put into something, even if it's not your thing? Tell me the truth. Have you ever, gone to something or even seen a piece of artwork and gone, it looks like somebody threw paint on a canvas and it's, $3 million. But then you get the opportunity to see an artist actually do that piece of artwork and you go, oh my God, wow, look at that talent. Isn't that a big difference, appreciating the greatness? Even if you go, the end result, I wouldn't hang it in my living room for $5, let alone 5 million. You still have that appreciation for it. How about something that a loved one goes through that you go, oh, come on, that's no big deal. But to them, it was, anxiety ridden and everything else. And then you see them bust through it And even though you go, well, that wasn't that tough. For me, it wouldn't have been that tough, but to see one of your children or your spouse or one of your siblings bust through something that seemed like a mountain on top of them. That's what I'm talking about, appreciating greatness. It doesn't have to be your definition of great to be able to appreciate the greatness in somebody else. What about you? Do you appreciate the greatness in you, or do you get up and go, I'm just a regular person? No, you're amazing. Let it out, shine it out, get it out there. Not everybody's going to agree, or, you don't have to please the masses in this world. You, number one, have to please you and God, or however you call your creator. But don't sit there and go, oh, I'm just average, or I'm just a regular kind of guy, or I'm just a regular girl that does it. I'm no big deal. Yes, you are. You're an amazing big deal. Show it, dig for it, and appreciate the greatness within you. The past couple of weeks, we've talked about, the first week we talked about discovering your greatness. And I think if you watch that show, or you watch the replay on accelerate-life.com, you got a chance to go, I do have some greatness in there. Maybe you didn't realize it before, but there's something great in you that nobody else has, that you have to bring to the table. Then last week, we got you to start taking some action on that greatness if you were on the show. If not, go and watch the replays, guys, and then watch this one again. Because knowing it and doing it are not really two different things. They're two different sides of the same coin. If you want to get something out there, you want to show your greatness, or you want to be great, you've got to know it, show it, but then to hold on to it, you must appreciate it. So let me ask you a question. What changes, if you've been on the past few weeks, have you already made? And more importantly, what new results are you already getting by going, hey, I do have a greatness. Hey, I'm taking action. And hey, you know what? I appreciate what I'm getting from this. And I got to ask, how is that working for you? Do you feel like it's kind of a ripple effect when you discover something? You do it, then you appreciate it, and then you bring it to the family and the world and your loved ones and bring it out there. What kind of ripple effect does that have on the world? What if you discovered that you are really, 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 really good at coaching somebody when they've lost a loved one? Okay, that's not, excuse me, that's not one of my stronger points in coaching. That's one of my weaker points, and I've strengthened it because I know I've had to help people through that. But what if you find that you just have this knack for really helping people get through that, and you start helping people get through that, and then people look to you for the greatness. You're great at it. They appreciate it, and you appreciate it. Wow. What kind of effect does that have on the people that would have normally suffered more if you didn't step in and be there to help because you're great at that? Now, maybe you're not great at that. Maybe you are great at getting people to exercise. And you know this, and you know all this great stuff, and you've learned this, and you've got all these certifications, but you never ask somebody, hey, can I train you? You don't put it out there. You don't teach like we're doing on this show. You don't do something like that. And you just are the greatest trainer in the world, but nobody knows it because you didn't take action. Okay. How can somebody appreciate what you have to offer them? And how can you appreciate what you have to offer them if you don't put it out there? That's where the action comes in. And I know I'm kind of excited. I'm very excited about this because I'm very passionate about this. I know each and every one of you out there watching this morning, or if you're watching on the replays, I know that you have greatness. Okay. I know this in my heart. So let's step up and take advantage of it. How different, I'm going to ask you a question. How different do you think our entire world would be if everyone, yes, even politicians, did this? If people really held themselves to a standard of greatness? What if everybody developed what they're great at, really went after it? Okay, if that means you're a serial killer, probably don't develop that one. They gained more or any, in some cases, integrity, and then shared it with their family, their community, and with the world. How different would life be if everybody notched it up and brought their standards up? This isn't even a talk on standards, but that might be next week's show. If you don't get your standards up, you'll settle for anything, right? So let me ask you the question again. What if everybody developed what they're great at? Okay, just did that. Okay, not even the next step, but everybody developed what they're great at and would feel better about themselves. Would they treat others better? Would they be more productive at work or in their business? Would they be more spiritual? Would they take better care of their bodies? I would venture to hallucinate, yes. Now, what if they gained more integrity? Or in the case of some human beings walking the face of this earth right now, gained any effing integrity at all. There are politicians, there are people in your community, there are lazy people that won't get off their butts and work that are capable. Now, if somebody's had a tragic injury or something and they're getting help and assistance, I'm all about that. That's what we have it for. They've had a tragedy. But if you're 18 years old and you're sitting there smoking pot, playing video games, and you walk out to the mailbox and get a check, or you're checking your EBT card to see when your money's coming, no, that's my money. That's the rest of us out there's money. Get off your butt. Does that mean that you're a horrible person, that you've lived that way and you don't know any better? No. Gain some integrity. Step up. Say, you know what, I'm done. I'll go get a job, because there's a job on every corner. There's no excuses anymore. So that's what I'm saying. Gain the integrity. Screw this live off the system mentality. Screw being a leech on life. And if you have been, step up, turn it around. No judgment. Not everybody's made perfect choices up until this point in life. Once you gain that integrity, you can't come back there. You put this higher standard in place, then go share it. If you're that 18-year-old kid smoking pot and eating Cheetos and Cheerios and playing video games and getting a government check, or a 22-year-old, or worse, anybody even a little bit older than that lazing on your ass, step up and gain some integrity, because you know what's going to happen? When you share it, your friends are going to step up to match you, or if they try to pull you down, you got to leave them in the dust, because you have greatness. No matter how much you've screwed up, you might have screwed up your whole life until yesterday. You might be 50 years old and still living in mom's basement, and you might be watching the show today and go, I'm stepping up. I'm done with this. Seriously, I've spent 50 years of my life in mom's basement? Well, hopefully not the first maybe 15 of those years. They didn't stick you in the basement. Then we might have other issues we need to coach on. But do you hear what I'm saying here, guys? I know I say things, and I know I'm harsh on the COVID. I know I'm harsh on politics. I know I'm harsh on laziness. I know I'm harsh on government handouts. You know why? Because no matter what, whether you're a politician, whether you feel that COVID is eating the world, whether you wear masks and face shields and everything else when you're alone in your own home, if you live with nobody else, that's your business. Whether you get a vaccination or not, that's your business. I'm not going to tell you if I do, don't, want you to, do want to. That's your choice. Do your research. Okay, I'm not here to force feed you my opinions. What I am here to do is serve up on a silver platter options, coolness, great stuff to get you going and get your greatness coming out of you, so you set a higher standard, so you share that higher standard, so we have a better world, so we can start healing. We're in the season of winter. Tony Robbins puts it great. You got 4 seasons, and that doesn't mean you've got 4 seasons of weather around you. It's 4 seasons in our stages of life. Right now, we are definitely in the winter season. Things are scarce. It's cold. People are cold. It's a survival mode. It's a fear mode of when the next big storm's coming. I get it. All right. This winter can suck. Or you can snowboard and ski. You can go out and build a snowman. Some people love winter. I talk to my nieces and nephews in Buffalo, and I'm like, why the hell don't you move down here? It's cold. It's miserable there. And they're like, yeah, but we love it. We love it. We love it. And I'm like, okay. You love winter. I'm not a big fan of winter, but am I? Your biggest step ups, your biggest gains sometimes are in winter because it forces you to step up. Springtime, you're kind of like, yeah, it's a lot easier to be motivated in the spring. Things are beautiful, they're new, Summertime, hey, it's kind of fun time. We can play a little bit. In the spring, we did some good work because of the energy. And then in the fall, you're harvesting. You're reaping some of those rewards because spring was great. Summer really pumped it up. And then you go into winter, and hopefully you've got a plan for winter, because I don't think any of us planned for this season of winter that seems to have lasted a little over 2 years now. It's been a rough ride, but some people have thrived. Some people have stepped up. Some people have literally emotionally, not even a few people physically died, but more people emotionally died. More people's dreams died during this time, and other people flourished. What is the difference? It's pulling on that greatness and setting a higher standard. I don't know how else to say it. And that goes to everybody. I don't care who you are watching. You might have cringed when I said something about getting a government check. You might have gone, oh, yeah, I've been on unemployment for a year and a half. And now's the time to let it go. Let go of that. That's like a pacifier. If you're over 2 years old, drop the pacifier, guys. Drop the excuses. The pacifier is excuses of why you can't, and step up and go, you know what? My greatness is why I can. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. It's effort. But anything worth having is worth putting in the effort. I heard it put so eloquently. I only heard this maybe a year or so ago, that to do what's easy right now will make life harder later. To do what's harder right now makes life easier later. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that as almost gospel, and I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to work hard during this winter season, because it feels like right now you can work harder and you don't necessarily get more. Inflation's going through the roof. All I see is people griping about their insurance is going up. Who's got a cheaper insurance rate for homeowners, for this, for that? And you know what? We have commercial and personal and all these different insurances. And I'm like, holy moly, they're all going up. So you go to shop them. And what happens? You end up going, oh my God, there is nothing cheaper. Oh, what do we do? How do we find something cheaper? And, I saw a comment thread on that the other day, and I said, you know what? Honestly, don't spend your time looking for cheaper insurance, because you're not going to find it. Spend your time figuring out how to make more money and figuring out how to get our economy under control. Put your effort into that, not trying to, how do I save $200 a year on my homeowner's insurance? You know how much that is a day? That's nothing. That's pennies. Figure out a way to make the extra $3 a day, and you'll still be ahead of the game. You'll still be winning. To make $3 more a day, you'll still be ahead of the game, as opposed to spending hours and hours trying to figure out how to save a couple $100 this year. Now, if you're talking of saving a couple $100 a day or a week, that's worth putting effort into. But a couple $100 a year, figure out how to take yourself to the next level, figure out how to take your finances to the next level, and think about doing it that way. All right, guys, I am going to send you off with lots of love. I'm really pretty sure we're going to talk about setting high standards next week. How do you bump your own standards up? And I know it's hard, because you've got a built-in standard that you've installed. That wasn't birth installed, wasn't mom and dad installed. They may have influenced it, but you're responsible for your standards. So next week's show is going to rock. Hopefully this week's rocked for you. February 1st, 2021, the official opening grand release of HEALS, Healthy Eating and Lifestyle Simplified. It is about a 30-day, absolutely transformational course. I've finished it. It's all the videos shot. The workbook's almost done. Yes, you might be out there going, I've taken that from you, Lou. I've taken the live course, or I've taken the live seminars and stuff like that. But this is the Cadillac course. This is where it's all in one place, self-paced, It's right on about a 30-day course. If you're a little more lax, it might take you 40 days. If you're an overachiever, you might knock it out in 20. But it is where I put it all together to get it. And it's not about eating or a diet. It's about getting your entire lifestyle in a nice, round, balanced form. So February 1st is the official release date, guys. I am so psyched. I have worked hours and hours and hours and hours on this. Way more hours than I ever thought. But you know what? I didn't want to bring to you an average or a decent course. I wanted to bring top notch. That took work. So where's your top notch, guys? Let me ask you. All right, live with faith, energy, passion. Always, always live your dreams. And make sure that you are ready to rock and roll for the next level of life. And sending you lots of loves, guys. Have an amazing day, and I will see you on the next show next week.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lew himself. As Coach Lew always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dreams.